Hello, skis. Good morning. Good evening. Good day. Hey, Matthew.
Hey,
How are you, my friend?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
Yay. Did you sleep okay?
Cats have been weird lately, so I'm trying to sort that
Ah.
out.
What's up with the cats?
They just are buttholes.
They're cats, is what you're trying to tell
Yeah,
me.
they've just been they've gotten into some new habits,
Hey, Brian.
and I don't know why that is.
Brian in the chat.
More
Brian
than
who Brian who knew Matt that way back in the day.
yes, small weird world we're in.
Um So I got one project for sure. I want to make sure we get completed today,
Okay,
because
let's
I
go up.
it was something that I was supposed to do previously on prep school. I forgot, and then I was going to do last week, and Brian came on, and I forgot. So today, with the help of the lovely chat, and Brian's not allowed to help. Um, and yourself, Matthew, is we got to figure out what was in that cart. What was in Heskin's cart that the
Oh,
so I'm kind of trying to figure out what I know there was at least 8 items from the lost library. I've
okay,
decided that's a fact. Because they'd been there before, which was a lie that they hadn't. I want there to be some excavation materials, um, and then a small bit of loot from their previous um, excavations or grave robbing, whatever you want to call it. Super Spike. Um, so the first thing was a book in Dragon that Heskin had, which was like a travel log, but also like detailed like his expenditures. It had when he had people sign on to his group, he basically had a book that simulated a Geas spell um, for contracts. And a Geas is like a spell I can put on someone that makes them do one thing.
okay.
They don't have to do it in any particular way, but they have to do it. So his would have been something like, loyalty. But like if I put a Gia spell on someone, it might be like, I need you to go take this to this place. And you are magically compelled to do so. How you do it and what time frame you do it doesn't really matter. But a lot of times it'll be put on somebody like a spell will be put on like, you can't attack me.
Okay.
So like I literally can't. Now it doesn't mean I can't do other shit to put you in a position to be attacked,
Right.
but I can't directly attack you. That's at least how I interpret the spell, which I might be wrong. If someone has a different interpretation, please let me know.
I mean,
Um,
your show and it's your game.
but also like a series of maps to safe houses, both near the scar and further away from the scar, of where basically where he was storing things,
Okay.
and using as like way stations, because he's a he's a fucking treasure hunter, so he can't just keep it all with him. So my thought is he has like little bases where he has basically employees that are loyal to him that are storing things, and that he can return to get certain equipment when needed, or could have. Well, I guess he can't because they didn't die. They just got stuck in another somewhere else. So they're still alive to the knowledge of the players. So that's kind of that. But I need to come up with some cool items,
Okay.
as always. So what I pulled up today. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What I pulled up today were a couple. By a couple, I mean a whole bunch of different books I have, and I figure we could use these um, as kind of jumping off points, if not just straight up use to get some of these items. So one thing I want to do is have that some of these are. I want to have some that are just slightly magical and some that are consumables, because what I don't want to do is give the group a bunch more like badass items.
Yeah.
Because I don't think dude would have left like, I got a +5 plate mail in the cart.
Right.
I don't think that's what was going on. So I've been looking at like some people have done a really wonderful job of putting some of these things together. So like I want to keep like some common items that and I want to maybe one really good, but like very much a unitasker type of item, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking one book too. Just some weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? So where do we want to start? Do we want to start at the top and work our way down, or do we want to start at the bottom and work our way up? Also, I want to put this in. So I did this Kickstarter a while back, and I love it's a book of keys and treasure chests. I love the art. The art is what drew me in. The art is beautiful. And this person did like a bunch of different, like little, like tiny places, I guess. And this is just a sample. I have the whole document, but like I think I want to put a key in here, in there, treasure too, to like one of his safe houses, have it and use one of these cool little layers that this person did in their book. And then that's a potential trip on its own. Does that make sense? Did I just
Oh, sorry, I muted myself because Danny came down here quick.
Hi, Danny.
Oh, she's gone already.
Oh, bye, Danny.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So that art is wonderful. I like that a lot.
They have done a bunch of Kickstarters, and I wish I would have done them all because they're never terribly expensive. I don't want it in notes. I want it. Can I not open it from there? Huh. Well, I'll have to look. Maybe that's something I'll have to seed in. Or maybe I'll just use the one that's in the sample, because the one that's in the sample is really cool as well. And I think I just lost Matt.
I'm here.
Okay.
I wandered across the room.
Matt, are you in big business mode today?
Just trying to make sure I'm taking advantage of the time that I have.
Oh man, Matt, that sounds very ominous. Please don't do that.
Yeah, not like that.
Where did that just go? Like I literally. All right, so that's 904. No, okay, those are the same documents. Why do I have that twice and I don't have my main book? Anyway, so I think maybe, yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I mean that's usually how my stuff tends to go. It's like why did I think this was the way to do this?
Well, I think I just have so many things. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
I might so I think we're going to use this key of Endrin War.
Okay.
As the key of I can't remember how to spell.
That's D&D. Spell however you want.
Endrin War. Well, I kind of, because I'll forget otherwise. This was in chess and keys sampler.
Oh yeah, what are our wonderful chatters up to this morning?
Nothing. Nobody's saying too much.
Well, no, I know. I'm just checking in to see what they've got going on. They're doing anything interesting today? Maybe they're not.
Yeah.
And then also, how do you feel?
Shaggy.
The Origins stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, just I mean, I know you like the reveals and stuff, but it sounds like they're changing the way they're going to be releasing it.
I didn't read any of that, so please give me the lowdown.
I got to get some specifics because I didn't watch the panel or read any news, but it sounds like somebody had said that going forward, vintage Origins will be available through creations only, but I don't know what that definition means.
I don't know either. I did see that they like changed the size a little bit.
Really?
For those Filmation Origins, they're like built a little bit different.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's a new body type, I suppose. But
I look great. They look fantastic. As long as they continue to.
That's what I'm not sure. Is it that so that makes me think.
Nice, Brian.
That going forward, at some point, the toy-based stuff is not
get some rest, Super Spike. Jeez.
Is not going to be at retail, but I'm not sure on that.
Well, it sounds like some of it's still going to retail.
Yeah, but not all. I don't know. Like I know Night Stalker is going to be creations.
I kind of figure a lot of that stuff's going to go there. Hey, Shaggy, happy birthday to your best friend's mom. That sounds weird for me to say, but
yeah, that sounds a little.
It's fair, Spike. It's fair.
Sounds like you're going after him a little bit there.
Talking about toys, Mitch is out. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I don't know. I liked a lot of the reveals. I think Masterverse didn't blow me away this time. There's some really neat stuff there, but I'm not like the last group of Masterverse. I was like, holy crap! I got to get a lot of these boys for their parts.
Yeah.
This time I was like, I guess.
Yeah, for Masterverse, the thing that really leapt out at me as like, oh, this is neat, was Snout Spout.
Snout Spout looks wild.
But yeah, the rest was kind of like, this is fine.
Yes, Super Spike, exactly. Yeah, that might very well be true, Mitch. I thought the new Skeletor looked interesting.
Oh, the Revolution one?
Yeah. But I wasn't, again, I agree with Mitch. I'm like, I'll need to see Revolution before I feel like I have a big investment in it. Also, I think that Revolution, they'll put out more stuff. Holy shit, like Snake Man Overload.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully after Lady Slither and Fangor, we're maybe done for a while with the Snake Men. Because, man, like I love the Snake Man, but I'm kind of like,
variety is the spice of life.
Yeah, like, can we do a bunch of Horde? There's still other dudes we haven't gotten yet that I'm interested in. They're very niche, but what'd you think of Cyclone?
I think Cyclone looks pretty good.
They were, hey, Mattel, if you're slithering into those DMs, how about some free shit? I saw a bunch of people like bitching about his face and his head. But I was like, why?
Yeah, I felt like I guess they're probably pissed that it doesn't look vintage.
Which, as someone else pointed out, why did I want him to continue to look like Faker?
Yeah, and or maybe they're just who knows what the root cause of why they're salty is, because it's like, yeah, he looks like he has like an ethnicity now.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Does that? I don't know. Anyway,
that would be my guess. Is it's butthurt white dudes, because I feel like that is what pushes fandom in the wrong direction on a consistent base.
Unrelated, but since Brian is here, I just saw that our mutual friend Blaine got engaged. So
Congratulations, Blaine. I guess
I did tell Blaine about Chaos Scar and things like that, and he's like, "Oh, I might want to do that."
Oh, very cool.
So
I'm all for.
he used to run Shadowrun for us back in the olden days.
We were talking about that on the walk yesterday. Is like the whole like, and we talked about it last week on prep school. Like you guys' entire generation there, and this would include Colin as well, because Colin was the one I was talking about. You cut your teeth on Shadowrun and not D&D, which is awesome.
Well, or that was just what was more interesting to me, I guess. I don't know what attracted us to Shadowrun.
Maybe it just was the time frame and some of the like points of interest there, but I think that's fascinating that like for me, like D&D was the thing. I never played Shadowrun because I was already knee deep in
once you've got a system,
in Star Wars and in D&D. But it's so interesting to me that there's like a entire portion of people I know who are younger than me that was their gate in. And it's a cool game. I just have never played it. And I think there's also a group of people, a subset of your group of people, who also their gateway in was like Paranoia or Rifts. Also games I didn't play. Those are cool figures. Honestly, I don't know if they hold up, but they were cool when they came out. So yeah, I just
those. I mean, okay, that was. I didn't get into those. It was the one.
Those were Whiz Kids, I believe, put those out.
Yeah. Oh no, those were. Yeah, I would. I mean, I still kind of want to complete that set. There was a bunch of them I never grabbed just because I was poor at the time. But yeah, they actually hold up pretty well. The articulation isn't great on all of them, but the sculpts and paint and stuff, that was.
Yeah, they were good looking figures.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we got a crew in the chat, let's talk. So what else is in Heskin's cart? He had 2 carts. One got eaten by Gem Crust. The other one they brought back, and they were like, "What's in the?" I asked them, "What's in the cart?" And they were like, "I don't know." And I was like, "You know what? I'll just ask prep school folks." So, what do you guys think is in there? Like I said, we've already got one. It's the key to Endron War.
You're looking for just like.
Well, I got some. Like I said, I have some. I kind of wanted to use at least something out of Gnarl's Candy Compendium.
Okay.
I love this cover, which is like magical candy. So it's a one-use item, but also, hey, that's me. I like the idea of this, so I'm kind of like, what do you guys think? Is there some type of candy we should look for and use that as like I gunpowder pepper rocks? I mean, these are like consumable, like.
And you wanna keep them pretty.
I want them to be unusual because, like I said, this guy is a treasure hunter. So my idea is like he was probably hauling, like he probably took everything that was valuable in the moment with his crew. So this would be like other things. Super Spike, you and Mimics, man. And Shaggy's in on that Mimic.
You're making me think there was a Flaming Lips album that was only available inside like a giant gummy skull or something. So you had to like either eat it or just like reach into it to actually listen to the album. Yeah.
See, I love like Midnight Shroud. It's a candy. It takes you 1 minute to eat it. and when you do, the area around you grows darker, and you gain advantage to stealth.
But you want stuff that's limited.
Like
to you.
that's perfect. Yeah, it's a consumable item.
You want consumables. Okay. That was the main thing that I wanted to get a grip on was,
I like the idea, Mitch, of gummy eyes, but I'm kind of like, where would the other eye be? And that seems like more of a long-term item. Ooh, cinnamon hard candy that gives you dragon breath. I like that.
Well, it could also be. I mean, it could be something where it's like in a wrapper or a package, and once you open it, starts the clock on it.
Yeah.
Because it goes bad, but
lightning lemons, you take it, you eat it, you take 44 acid damage, but then after doing so, you can, as a bonus action, release a 5-foot wide, 15-foot cone of lightning. That is boss. I like this idea. Like I said, I like this. Oh, that was Super Spike. My bad. I like the cinnamon hard candy. Let's put that on our thing. Let's make that. So what kind of candy would it be? It's got to have some type of dragon-esque name to it. What are cinnamon candies anyway? I can't remember. There's probably names for them.
Oh yeah, it's like it's like Warheads and Red Hots, and let me see here. Hot tamales. Atomic fireball, yeah.
That's good. That's very easy and simple. What does dragon's breath? Fire dragons. Oops, spell better, Ben. Breath. What's D&D 5e. Wikidot, tell me how much this damage is. 3d6. So we're going to knock that down to 2d6 plus whiz bonus. We need to think of a name for this candy.
Let's see.
Yeah, Brian, but I don't care. It doesn't mean you don't get another Dragon's Breath thing. You don't get to decide that. Ooh, Hotheads is good, though. Hotheads is what we're sticking with. That's good. I like that.
All right.
I also like the Jawbreaker, but I like it in a different way. I like the idea of. Oh, I do like the Thumberchod treats as well as a name. Ooh, I'm torn. Dragon Delights is good too. Oh man, you guys are killing it. We're changing it to Thumberchod. Thumberchod treat. I like the idea with the Jawbreaker that if you eat it, I mean, you take damage, I do think you have a 1% chance of a diamond being in the middle of it. Because I love that idea, Mitch. But I like the idea of if you're able to consume it. So there may be like a con check that like every time you take damage, you have to make a con check. It takes 3 attempts. We'll say you got to get 3 successes before 5 failures. So then it's like a skill check. Well, it'd be 5 successes before 3 failures. So let's go. You got to get 3 successes before 2 failures. If you do that upon consumption, yeah, temporary diamond skin, but we'll just call it, you would get, God dang it, stone skin, which is a spell. You would get the effects of stone skin, which is like your stone skin absorbs so much damage before you start taking damage. Okay. We had a rule back in 2nd edition. We had like a gentleman's agreement between players and DM that we would not use stone skin if he would not put stone skin on every fucking wizard we fought. Because then it just turned into, I hit you for 20 damage, I take 1 stone skin off. He hits you for 15 damage, I take 1 stone skin off. And it was just like this entire, we spent the first half hour of any fight like taking stone skin off each other. So I like stone skin sours a lot.
I think this is, I'll put this in the private chat. It's not candy related, but
so it's a 3 before 2 con check to consume. Every failure is a 1d4 damage. Also we're not gonna put 1%. 1% is too small. A 5% chance of there being a diamond in the middle. And if successfully eaten, what does stone skin do in 5th edition is a good question. D&D 5e stone skin. Stone skin does. It's a 4th level aberration. Turns the flesh of a willing creature you touch as hard as stone until spell target has resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. I like that, but it's not as cool as it used to be. So we're going to say stone skin gives the player, the consumer, 1d4 packs worth of difference. What's the higher above resistance is Danny building something upstairs?
No, it's the cat.
What are they doing?
He's just scratching at the door.
Really? That's interesting. 1d4 worth of immunity to physical damage. So basically it's like you would have 1d4 immunity. Thank you, Mitch. Where nothing physical can harm you. But that would not mean like you couldn't be pushed, pulled. It also means that psychic damage would still hurt you. How many of these should there be? Like a 1d4 amount? Do you think? Like in a bag? Mitchell, there's one like that I actually like. I think it's going to be our 3rd one. It's you take acid damage, but you basically can release an electrical blast. I also like the dark chocolate thing with your shadow a lot. I might put both those in there. How many, like, these are small candies, so you do think there should be more than one, like 1d4? What are you thinking, Matt?
You wouldn't want to give them like a crazy amount, but
This at least gives them the
a
potential.
few, yeah.
All right, so I want to do a variation on the shadowy one because I loved that. I love that idea. So it's we got to come up with a name, but it's a chocolate bar. Whoop. There's only one of those. Also, maybe they're all inside some type of magic like candy bucket. Like, did you ever read Nocturnals?
No.
So, and I have like the big omnibuses if you ever want to read, because first of all, they're pretty cool.
Well, yeah, I do like
the art's stunning.
Yeah, Brereton's art is, yeah.
But Halloween Girl has a devil lantern, which is a lantern that has a devil trapped inside that's constantly talking, but also a bucket of infinite candy. So we need to figure out what the name is. It takes one turn to eat this bar. Upon eating it for 1 hour, the consumer has advantage on all stealth checks, and their shadow moves to actively conceal them. I'm thinking like their shadow actually moves around and like is like a separate entity trying to hide them. Oh, Mitch, that's good. I don't know if it's that is Mitch. That's far more a DNO thing though than a Chaos Scar thing. Yeah, I may have like accidentally veered into hardcore DNO shit at this point. So we need a name for this shadowy dark chocolate bar. Go Shadow Strike. That is some anime fucking shit right there. All right, and then we want to do one electrical one too, which I liked that other one. What was the name of the book?
How about like
Gnarls? Those were lightning lemons.
Okay. I was thinking like
their shadowy one was called
or your other
Midnight Shroud was the name of the candy bar.
Could just be like an Umbra bar.
Ooh.
Umbra. Umber is brown. Umbra is shadow. Did you see the thing I put in the private chat? I just
not yet.
Okay. It's not a candy, but I do like it as a concept a lot.
We're just gonna straight up take lemon lightning. I like that. Plus, I literally have lemon drops on my desk right now because I do enjoy them.
I was gonna say because you're 80 years old, or
how dare you? Those were Werther's originals, son.
Hey, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like that like holiday minty saltwater taffy. Like,
I enjoy most candies, just not in abundance.
Oh yeah, that's
so. In fact, I'm gonna have a lemon drop right now, Matt. So fuck off.
That's fine. I'm just gonna keep drinking this coffee.
I already drank mine. That's why. If I could open it. So I believe theirs was a I'll tell you these everyday essential ones, and I believe this is a Target brand, so Target get at us. They're good, but I can only have like 2 because then they literally start to eat the taste buds off my tongue.
Yeah,
they're just too much. 44 acid damage upon eating. I mean, it's a little too much, so we're gonna say 2d4 upon consumption. It's acid damage. And then it gives the consumer. It's like I need another screen, which would be 3.
I've debated doing another screen here, but I really don't have the space for it right now. And it would be of not used super often. So
I'm gonna move that over so I can just look at it.
yeah.
After consumption, as a bonus action, you can release a 5 foot wide and 15 foot long bolt of lightning from your mouth. I misspelled mouth. Every creature in the area must make a dex. We're going to up this from 13 to 15. You're going to take 2d4. You need to be able to dish it out. We're going to lower that from 48 to 3d8. Lightning damage and half on a save. The effect ends after either 3 uses or an hour. We're actually going to change that to after either 1d4 uses or an hour. All right, I feel like that is much success on this first little set of consumables. We feel good about it, guys and gals and non-binary folk.
I do. I think it's solid.
F in the chats for lemon drops. All right, so we're going to get out of Gnarls Candy Compendium. That's a great little book. I should be using this more. Like, look at this. Look at this little boy. I like the art a lot. It's a good looking book. It's kind of like the Keys, this Keys and Treasures book. I don't know if I just haven't downloaded my full version yet. Let me look one more time. This is bugging me. Keys and Treasures. Yeah, I don't see. Interesting. All right. Well, Mitch, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ooh. Ooh, Matt.
I know.
That is a hella good.
It's just super fun.
So we need to think of a name for it. It'd be like so-and-so studded leather of useful item.
Lee Fields. I mean, you can spell it however you want. Yeah.
Sounds very elven. That's something else, man. That's a great. That is a great find. Where did you find it? From my
It's I'll just drop the link here because it's just fun. It's a random generator.
I've been listening to Super Gods.
Oh, the
and I adore Grant Morrison. But man, Grant has some serious opinions about people.
He sure does.
I don't mind his opinions about Alan Moore because I also think Alan Moore is a twat.
I think that Alan Moore is Alan Moore presents himself as a twat a lot of the time. I don't think he's that if you actually talk to him. But my take on it, which will probably, I think,
oh, Don John. Yeah, Don John's awesome, man. That's one of my favorite websites.
Yeah, they've just got some cool random generators. But anyway, I think that
Mitch, remind me of this the next time we do stuff for Down in Outlands because this is
but no, I think that
God damn it, that's so good too. Lee Fields gives you partial cover since no one can see your feet. Ooh, someone said we should have called it Lynn's Leathers.
Yeah. I didn't come up with it though. Random generator did. But anyway,
we're changing it.
Alan Moore is the Bret Hart of comics. In that they devoted their lives to this thing. It destroyed them and treated them terribly, and they just can't get past that bitterness.
Oh man, that's a good analogy, man.
They're also forever linked to it. Like they can't not be involved just because they were such a big part of it.
But I think the difference is, and I think this is the thing that made me dislike more, even more, listening to Morrison's book, is Alan Moore doesn't like comic books. He never liked comic books.
He loved comic books.
He did. He loved the characters he wrote because I don't think he ever did. There is very much, and I agree with Morrison, that there is very much, you read an Alan Moore book about superheroes, he has a disdain for superheroes.
Well, Ennis does for sure. But
well, yeah, Garth Ennis and Mark Millar, they hate superheroes. They have, neither of them have ever written anything where superheroes in a good light.
Have you ever read Alan Moore Supreme?
I don't know if I have, actually.
I don't think you can write that or Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow without genuinely loving Superman as a character.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
and I should hook you up with his Supreme because it is really good stuff.
So I will never discount that Alan Moore is a good writer. Because
I also feel like a bit of what Alan Moore's got too is the it's when you ask Harrison Ford about Han Solo. It's like, this isn't who I am. This isn't what I want to do anymore. This isn't who I want to be, but this is who everybody sees me as. So at this point, it's like, I don't want to talk to you about fucking Watchmen. I don't care that Damon Lindelof made a Watchmen show. I'm not going to watch it. DC fucked me. Stop talking to me about this stuff. I'm doing other things. Or, it's...
But they offered him money and stuff, and he just says no. So to me, it's not, you're not getting fucked if you're offered some compensation and then you basically spit in someone's face. It's not the same as like with like Kirby Estate and all of them. Also,
the deal he signed specified that if Watchmen ever went out of print, he would regain the rights.
Really? I did not know that.
Yes. And guess what? It's never gone out of print.
Then again, why would it?
Well, sure, but that's
not a I feel bad for Alan Moore. It's because don't sign that deal. that's a dumb. I mean, it's almost like he's betting against himself at that point.
Well, and I mean, also the industry at the time, the idea of things staying in print forever was not the norm. That changed with right then with Mitch has got it. It's Watchmen and Dark Knight. Like, and those both came out in 86.
Yep.
So for him to take that deal wasn't,
Here's the thing: those characters weren't his characters either. I mean, it's common knowledge those were the Charlton characters. The DC made him change so they didn't make those characters completely unusable.
That's true.
And they're just pastiches of someone else. This is my other problem with Alan Moore. Alan Moore likes to tell you how big of a genius he is and likes to say how much he gets upset with other people using his characters. Alan Moore doesn't create new characters. Most of the stuff he has done is either a pastiche of someone else's work or it's him working on someone else's character.
Yeah, I mean that's comics though.
So, but when he does that shit, he bitches about other people using characters, and it's like
I'm not
him basically saying that anybody using the Watchmen characters is blasphemy, and that somebody like Jeff Johns is an idiot for touching his toys is fucking dumb.
Well, I have other issues with Jeff Johns, but
I have other issues with most creators, but I'm just saying Alan Moore is higher in his own supply is my issue with Alan Moore.
I am sympathetic towards Alan Moore. I don't think he does himself favors in a lot of cases, but I do also feel like he's just kind of ended up in a
But Alan Moore doesn't create his own characters. Even League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, not his own characters. That's the thing, Mitch. If Alan really felt that way, then Alan would go out and make. I mean, he's done other things like but guess what? They were derivatives of someone else's work, like Lovecraft. He did a bunch of Lovecraft stuff. Make your own shit, Alan. Sorry, I'm sorry, Mitch. Sorry. I know. I do not denigrate his talent. I just think that the being a twat waffle for the sake of being a surly old twat waffle, if you don't want to talk about your comics, don't just be like, hey, guess what? I don't want to talk about this anymore, so I'm not going to talk about it. No more interview.
Yeah, but then you're that guy.
I would rather you be that guy than every time you talk to someone, you're bitching about the industry or you're complaining about other creators. Because that's all he does anymore. And it's just like, and it's the same thing with Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart, but Bret Hart too often gets on his pulpit and bitches. I would prefer Bret Hart use his pulpit, which is what he does sometimes, to praise people. If you don't like something, that's fine, but shut the fuck up. I don't need to hear about it on a consistent screed. Don't be Jim Cornette, Alan.
Well, nobody should be Jim Cornette.
Alan. If you don't like something, just say it's not for me. I have no further comment about it. But thank you, Spike. Also, Ric Flair. Fuck Ric Flair.
Well,
No, and I unfortunately being the loud voice in the room who's drowning out everybody else, and that's not my intention. But
Ric Flair is the Warren Ellis.
Oh damn, Mitch, that's really well put. God damn, Mitch, that's. I think that's probably frighteningly too true. Maybe that is what it is. Because I know that I get anger and bitter about certain things, and sometimes it's like I forget why I'm angry and bitter. I just want to wallow in the anger and bitterness.
Oh yeah, I've got a friend who he'll be like, man, I hate that guy. And it'd be like, why? And he's like, I don't remember.
I don't recall. I don't recall that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's a
No,
total
for me,
piece of shit.
if somebody if somebody screws you over, you don't need to let them do that or be happy about it. But at some point, you also need to say, all right, that person screwed me over. I'm not going to give them the opportunity to do that again. But to hold on to that anger like it just happened, man, very foolish. No, because all they're doing is owning your life at that point.
Yeah, Mitch,
You know,
I
they
feel
don't
like
care. They don't even know you're out there.
I feel like someone could do a cover song of David Bowie's Heroes and just turn it to Bastards, and that would be a lot of us. We could be bastards, if just for one day. Yeah. So anyway, I highly recommend Super Gods. It's been very entertaining.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. The chapter about him taking a lot of drugs and imagining stuff wasn't super interesting to me, but most of the rest of it was.
I love the idea of him so desperately wanting to be a tourist in a 2D world. Like maybe this 2D world is better than the 3D world, 4D world I live in. I think I like more because he does feel like I got more Morrison because he does feel like he's one crazy accident away from being a giant supervillain. Who thinks he's a good guy?
I don't know. I mean, it's with his background though, because his dad is a wild character.
Yeah. You sent me some stuff on his dad. His dad is fucking wild.
Yeah. And he talks about his dad a lot in the book too.
Yeah, he does. It's an interesting thing. I mean, especially like watching some of his interviews with his dad. The first thing that came to mind, I was like, that dude is on the spectrum hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, just with the strike thing where it's like, oh yeah, you are just this is your focus now. Like this is all you've got.
Just the perseveration factor and the struggle to make meaningful eye contact, the lack of empathy towards other human beings in that particular case beyond like his focus on him. I was like, yeah, this is one of those cases where this person, because of the time period, didn't get some help to acclimate themselves to how the rest of society operates.
No, but
so
he also, I mean,
made some mistakes, and rather than someone recognizing that this might be part of something else, they immediately were like, "You're out." Hey, eye contact is hard. I don't do eye contact well unless I'm very angry. And then I make too much of it. But it's also a symptomology of folks who are on the spectrum, on the autistic spectrum. They struggle with that because it's too intense. And if you watch those interviews they do with his dad, it's right there. And Matt's right. That's his dad is just his own tale that should be told. It's something else. All right. Anyway, so we got some consumables. So let's move on. I kind of want to roll on this table for 2 items.
Okay.
Those are 3 items. So whoever wants to roll, let me know what you get. D100, I need 3 times. In fact, I'd like 3 separate people to roll D100.
I don't even know if I have a D100.
2 10-siders will also work.
Ah.
Percentile dice, basically.
Keep my dice out very often either.
Also, thank you to Matt and everyone in the chat and everything. I've had a really down week. And this is maybe the happiest I've been all week.
No.
Sometimes like just creative conversation is very helpful. Mitch, you only get 1. Mm-hmm. So Mitch, I'll let you choose 93, 29, or 55. Which is your final? Super Spike got an 11.
I guess that would be
Shaggy also give me 1, so we'll do 4, and Brian as well. So we'll do 5.
I got a 12.
So let's start with yours, 12. An ice cube that never melts.
All right.
Super Spike got an 11. A playing card that changes its face whenever it's tapped. Ooh, that's a dangerous weapon. Changes its face whenever tapped. We're going to change that to its suit whenever tapped. Shaggy got a 57. A key that crumbles to dust after it unlocks the lock it belongs to. Ooh. Key that turns to dust after it unlocks the lock it was made for.
Or any? Is it so? It only works on a specific lock.
Mm-hmm. Only works once.
But can it work on any lock? Once, or does it work on a specific lock once?
Specific lock.
Okay.
All right, so that is 1, 2, 3. Who am I? Brian was supposed to roll if he's still here. Yep, Brian got a 50. Mitch is 29. All right, so let's look at 50, and then we'll look at 29. Mitch, you get saved for last. A metal plate that heats up any regular sized pot or kettle that it's placed upon.
Yeah.
I need to be really careful with this one because I could already see how I would abuse it. I need to specify pots or kettles that are placed. I'd be like, oh, so it heats up metal?
Yeah.
So basically, it's a free heat metal spell. I'm gonna throw this at everyone wearing metal. Bitch is 29. A bag of blue marbles. Each of them hums in a soft, harmonious tone when rolled.
All right.
Rumbling marbles. A bag of brightly swirling marbles. Whenever rolled, they emit a harmonious hum. I think that's kind of what it said.
Harmonious. You just gotta throw an I in there, I think. There you go.
I need that spell check, love. Yep, sounds good. All right, so we got those done. Oh, melodic marbles is better than what I put. Melodic. Who's got better names for these other items? Please put them in the chat. Because I'm not married to any of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. So we've got, I think, I think we're good on our consumables. Actually, we're going to move this because this is not a consumable. This can go down here. So we've got one item there that again, Lynn studded leathers of useful items is.
I'm just gonna one more Donjon random thing in here just because it's fun.
Ooh, the never ever ending ice is great.
That's probably too powerful, but it just is a fun thing to me.
No, I love this. This is very much perfect because it's a one-use item.
Yeah.
I don't think it's overpowered.
That's the stuff I don't have like a sense of.
It's an item like for me that I would look at as a player and be like, how do I use this?
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we want. That's perfect. I love it. That's really good, Matt. Oh, the suit of your needs? Damn, Mitch.
Yeah.
That is woo. 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 All right. Let's think of like three more slightly better. So I've got this thing that is like additional minor properties, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think we'll keep that like on the side for now. I don't think we need any more of this.
I think for the
Countless Tome of Curious Creations, Madame Catifa's Caravan of Magical Wonders. Also, come on, it's a cat with a snail shell.
Sure.
It's beautiful.
I think for the hot plate thing, it should be you need a name, but it should be like someone's portable hearth.
Oh, I love that. So, God, what was Chef? His last name was Shank. It was Josephus Shank. Shank's portable hearth. That's great. That's perfect. Oh, Decaying Key is really good too.
Damn, no, everybody. Wait. Sorry, nope. It's got to be. It's got to be. I'm trying to think of like a way to.
Oh, Mitch, that's good, but I feel like Decaying Key is just simplistic.
Yeah, but I'm trying to come up with like a D&Dified version of George Foreman.
I think portable hearth works though, man.
Oh yeah, but I want it to be like, George Foreman's portable hearth.
Well, it's Shank's portable hearth.
Well, yeah, but that Foreman.
So the full would be Josephus Chef Shank's portable hearth.
Yeah, that works because then it's.
I think I misspelled the shit out of that. It's not Joseph; it's Josephus.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I bet you I have it on. I think I have a Josephus Shank playlist because I played old Chefy Boy for a while. I'm not saying I know what human meat tastes like, but I'm just saying it tastes good. I ain't saying I cooked it. I'm just saying. That's where Tasty Boys came from, by the way. of me referring to us through Josephus as the Tasty Boys. So that's my
should it be?
That's my burden to bear. That's my
should
fault.
it be Josephus Shanks, lean, mean, fat reducing portable heart?
No, that's too long.
I know it is.
Where? Oh, there it is. There it is. There's my boy. There's how I spell Josephus. Josephus Shanks portable hearth. Oh God, how did I? Oh,
Didn't
ah. Yeah. That's not right either, really? So we'll just take that. I don't care how you want it spelled. Spell check. You can fuck right off. Oh, really? All right, we'll do that, I guess. Just because I hate looking at the red line underneath it. I really like the Kang key. More than key of one true term, because I think that this is the one that feels the most brief. Oh, I could do that though. That's true, Brian. Where's add to dictionary? Perfect. I didn't even think about that. Thank you. All right, so let's think of 3 more that aren't quite as fun.
Okay.
I guess no, I still want to be fun, but
right.
Let's see what Beard wants.
Oh. So you want you think more like an item?
Pikachu was named after a real life serial killer named Pete Tachu, who used to electrocute drifters while screaming his own name. Oh, that's terrifying. I'm thinking items that aren't consumables but I think I might be in a wrong. This seems like they're all relatively consumable. Anti-magic napkins. Okay, I like this anti-magic thing though. Let's see. Ooh. How about an anti-magic cravat?
You gotta go full
But that also means you can't use magic.
Fred from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I mean I like this too. I just dropped this in the chat.
That's what I was worried about, Mitch, is I also saw some ways to do it. That's why it only works on pots and kettles.
Kettles, yes.
Because otherwise I was like, oh, so you're giving me basically a throwing disc that heats metal.
Perfect. Oh yeah, no, that'd be absolutely something where you just run and slap it onto the back of somebody in armor and roast them alive.
So we need a good name. We'll just do Fred's. Fred's cravat.
It's CRAVAT.
EEAT.
Nope, just AT.
Is it really? I thought for some reason there's an EA in there. How do we want to put an anti-magic in there without saying anti-magic? Nulling.
Yeah, of nullification or silence. Well, silence.
Silence is actually would be another thing. Wow. Cloth neck piece. So we're going to do this in a way where it actually somewhat helps. We're going to say this item provides +1 to armor.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be really good for a monk. This item also create a 5 foot by 5 foot shell of anti-magic around the person wearing it. This nulls all magic on their person as well as magical attacks that would strike them slash affect them. An interesting thing because it's like I could see someone using this, but I could also see an entire party going, no, I don't want that.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it 2 more.
I dropped one in the chat.
2 more, and then I want to talk about some other stuff. Staff of Battlemaster. I like that one a lot, but I think that one is too kind of plain. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? That one feels a little too D and too. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm like, that feels too D&D. I just Alan Moored you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's how about I just put it this way? It's not weird enough for what we've been doing.
Fair.
I kind of look at this as the stuff that Heskin had on his cart that was like, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with this. I don't want to store it. So I might sell it. Also, it might be worthwhile just to have. Also, we're going to put a caveat on. Yeah, I know what. So, Brian, put your earmuffs on. I don't know if I want this to be specified that someone has to wear it, because if it was me, I would just put this thing in the middle of a doorway.
Yeah. I think it needs to be worn. If you're going to try and use it on an enemy, you've got to like tie it on them or get them to put it on. I don't think it has to be worn willingly, but if you can be like, hey, this would look really nice on you.
I love that idea that it doesn't have to be worn willingly. Because imagine you catch a wizard or a sorcerer or a warlock, and you're like, I don't think we can hold this person. Oh, guess what? While your hands are tied up, now you're wearing this fucking thing. You got nothing, bro. That's great. I like that. All right, 2 more good ones, guys. Let's see what we can think of. Folks, what can we come up with? You guys are absolutely destroying it today. It's beautiful to see. I really like this one for some reason. That's why the Cask of Time. It's a barrel, and you can put liquids and things in, or food and everything, just to age it to where you want it in a fraction of time. But I don't think I want to use it for this. I think this would be something I would use for like Welcome Home, Old Fay Road. I like these weird, like utilitarian, bizarre, like magic items, I guess. Oh, what do you got? What do you think of this cloak of ooze? This cloak is made from a shifting ooze-like material and always seems slightly wet to the touch. While wearing it, though, an attuned creature can use an action to take an amorphous form until the start of your next turn. In this form, an attuned creature can move through spaces as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. Your speed becomes 20 feet. You can't attack, cast spells, or be knocked prone.
I just ran out of this one, and it just grabbed me. The Robe of Tongues. While wearing this robe, it lets you taste in all directions, and you have advantage on wisdom checks that rely on taste.
Mitch said we should call that the moist mantle. Oh, God. That's Wand of Cure Duck. Hold on. Wand of Cure Duck is pretty great.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's one I would want to save for something else. That's what was the other one you said though?
Oh, the robe of tongues.
Yeah, Robe of Tongues is interesting.
It lets you taste in every direction and grants you an advantage while being worn on perception checks that involve taste. Not very useful.
Yeah, that's not very. I do think I want to go with the
The
moist
moist
mantle.
mantle.
Moist mantle is it's kind of a useful item too.
Yeah.
How do we want to though? I want to put a potential drawback in it. Would it be like there's like a 5% chance that you can't change back?
Hmm.
So you can do it, but there is a tiny, tiny, tiny chance that once you do that, you may not come back.
What is okay? So what does do again?
You basically you turn into an ooze.
Okay.
So you can move, you become amorphous. You can squeeze
Yeah.
through 1 inch wide things. Your speed drops to 20 feet though, and you can't attack, cast spells, or be knocked prone. But I would also say you gain an acid attack.
Yeah. It feels really. I mean, that's if somebody makes that roll though and gets stuck in that form, man, that would be rough.
Well, my thing is you could also like greater restoration would turn you back.
Oh, okay. So as long as there's a way out, then
So by donning this always damp um ever shifting ooze cloak, you may spend a bonus action to be absorbed into the cloak, becoming a.
oh.
How about if you literally just become a black pudding? Because black puddings are fucking nasty.
I like this a lot, and it's a cool team thing here. I'm gonna drop that in the chat.
So black pudding, they're amorphous. They have a corrosive touch, and they have spider climb.
Oh, okay.
They can also pseudopod, and they can split.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you get some. That's some useful juice there.
You're also a large creature. You turn into a bigger, like pudding, black pudding. So we're also going to raise the chances you don't turn back. Also donning has 2 ends, doesn't it? Yep. Allowing you all the abilities of a pudding while retaining your whiz and int scores. Every time this ability is used, there is a 10%. 10% you think is too high?
I mean, as long as there's a way out, I don't think. I don't think that's unwarranted.
Will be unable to return to your normal state. If this occurs, a greater restoration spell will negate this effect, but destroy the item. Destroy the item completely, and the bearer will lose 1d4 levels.
Oh wow!
But you can get levels back. It's just
yeah.
There needs to be like I kind of want my stuff to have like teeth to it, consequence.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I've always loved that item. That's not a new item. That's an older item, but it's really cool. Matt, we're going to use that.
All right. Yeah, it just seems neat.
I would say, Mitch, that you take all like of the stats except for int and wisdom off of black pudding. What was next here? You can mutate your friends for better or for worse. Also, the inability to get within 100 feet of a school. That's pretty good. All right, so let's put that one in here. Why did I do that again? We need to go paste options, merge the format. Not going to worry about this. I'm just going to put glove. I'm also not going to do that because that was just a dumb mistake. Oh, you know what? I misread this. There's a glove of missile snaring that lets you grab missiles that are shot at you.
Oh.
I love this though. This is even cooler because it's literally I just can produce ammunition.
Well, if somebody else has, yeah.
It's kind of similar to Mick's biggest knife in that way.
Yeah.
Oh God. Super spike. I love that name. That's
it's a little it's kind of the you got to ask yourself, did I fire 6 shots or only 5? It's like it doesn't matter to me because he's got a fucking arrow.
I'm also only going to put one in there.
Oh, so you don't know
something like, yeah, you don't know what ammunition you might be pulling from somewhere,
or what might get pulled from you.
Yeah,
while you wear it.
I love that idea. The dirty, hairy hand warmers. I think we're good there, guys, with items. What do you think?
I also like that's a potential, like maybe you could add a thing to it, or if somebody wanted to like pursue it, you could, somebody could like there's like a slight pull when you wear it to try and find the other wearers.
Any glove in this set of 3 has a magical attraction to the other gloves in the set. I love that.
Yeah, because if you really just wanted to go, questy with it, it's like, well, yeah, let's figure out who else has these.
All right, so I feel like we're good.
Stealing all my fucking arrows.
Also, what happens if the person who's carrying the ammunition you're taking from just stops or dies?
Yeah,
and then you've got nothing.
Right, or if you run out, you're just out. But yeah.
All right, so let's talk about a couple other things before we call it today. And those are other things I've got kind of in the hopper. The first is the possibles. I believe we maybe talked about this. High 5 on your own supply. What if you put it on your right hand? Nothing. It doesn't work. Well, that's a good question. I try to find a game, so I'm going to use Worlds in Peril, which is a Apocalypse World style superhero game. And I basically was like thinking about Marvel DC crossover from a number of years ago that also gave us Amalgam.
Yes.
And gave us the only character that's owned by Marvel and DC access. And I want to do an Exiles / I can't remember what else I cited. What Avengers Forever / Justice Incarnate style team. So I want all the people who are playing in it to play like pastiches or multiversal, omniversal versions of characters who are brought together by Access under the direction of the Trustee of Tales. Do you remember, Matt, the Dr. 13 trade?
Yes.
Do you remember how the writers were in that book?
Yes, the architects.
The architects. I want this to be the omniversal architects, basically.
Okay.
I know the Trustee of Tales.
Some of the stuff that that Ewing's been messing with.
Yeah.
The House of Ideas.
Yep.
As like a physical location.
So I'm having them use the Infinite Hall of the Bleed in the Bleed, which is do you remember Pym's Infinite Avengers Mansion?
Yes.
I want it to be that, except for it's an infinite Hall of Justice.
Okay.
Where they reside and can't be seen. Mitch, I agree. I love Tomorrow Woman. I don't know why they didn't do more with Tomorrow Woman. Spike will be here all week. I like the idea of like this team being brought together, and again, possibly even doing this as a troop style play off and on, where they're given like missions to go to different places to either make sure things occur or that they don't. You mean yeah, instead of Dim's Impregnable Fortress, it was Pym, but it's Pym with a Y. Henry Pym's Impregnable Fortress. Or Hank Pym, what do you want to call him?
He's both.
Yeah. What do we think? Does this sound like a viable, playable idea?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's Exiles, it's whatever. It allows people to create characters, for a certain session, or if they want to keep playing the same character over and over again.
I like the idea too of someone doing like what Jason Aaron's thing, where one of the worlds, Tony Stark was Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I love the idea of things like that, where it's like on this particular Earth, this is or like I love President Superman. I love Captain Carrot. I like Justice League Incarnate to me is just like I feel like Aaron took some of the best of that to do his Avengers story, but I also know that he has had that percolating for a really long time. It's just one of those great confluence of events where two companies, different people are making very similar things at the same time that both actually were good. See Man Thing, Swamp Thing. So I love those ideas, and I think most of the original trades for Exiles. I loved Exiles. So what do we think, Chad? Is this something you would like us to do, or is this just something I should throw on the back burner for a while?
I think it's a cool idea. I mean, you gotta find your players and see where it goes, but I think it's cool.
I also was like thinking about doing it in a very comic book style. So I was watching a video, and I know I put it in our D&D chat for all of our D&D folks on the Book of Face. There's a person on YouTube who does some interesting D&D stuff, and one thing they did is they said, here are 3 phrases you should start using in your games that are done by very, very good dungeon masters. And one was like Matt Mercer saying, "You can certainly try," meaning like, well, it's possible. Maybe. I don't remember what the other one was, but the third one is the one that stuck with me, which is Brea Eingard saying, "But what you don't know is," and is her like pulling away from the story that the characters know to show the players like this is this like cutaway scene going on elsewhere in the world that affects you. Your characters don't know this, but you know this. So you can see the world is moving. And I feel like comic books do that so well.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that like really sometimes I don't realize it, but how much comic books really hit me that way, where it's like, oh, I can see what the bad guys are doing.
Yeah.
but I also know that the characters don't know, and therefore can't do anything about it. I really want to utilize that. That guy also has another video out with 3 more phrases. I could probably link it in the chat if I can find it really quick. But yeah, I really, really enjoy like when someone is able to pick apart interesting concepts like that. One thing they definitely they point out is like you don't have to use these exactly, just you should use the concept of them. Most copied sayings DMs should use to hook players. It's done by a page who is called Bonus Action. Like I said, I'm going to throw this in the chat. I feel like it's definitely worth being seen. And I'm pretty sure they had another one as well that had like Ginny D in it. Yeah, I don't see it like popping up quickly, so I'm going to move on. But yeah, I like that idea a lot. So that's that. I want to do Take Me Home Old Faded Roads pretty badly. I'm using Cairn as the system because Cairn just being a super, super, super streamlined D&D. Did I not do that? Okay. So I did a little more. I don't know how to do a mess. So this is going to happen. It's just trying to figure it out. And I think I want to loosely tie it to Chaos Scar. But that's just on my thing. All right, let's get down to business then. All Outta Bubblegum. It's happening. Probably in a couple Wednesdays. I got to put out the call for players. But we're definitely doing this as a one shot. Because I think I think the game is brilliant. And its simplicity and it's going to be super fun. And also I think the 80s movie generator thing we all put together it's so good. You guys just were masterful. So if anyone is interested, since you guys were the ones who like put the backbreaking mental labor into it, get at me and I will save a spot for you because I think it's going to be probably 4 players.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. Let me know when you're thinking, and I'll see if I can swing it.
It'll be a Wednesday night.
But I also don't want to take a spot from anybody else. So
no, you Matt, one of those spots is yours. Because this to me is like this screams Matt Lind at the top of its lungs. So I got 3 spots. Oblivion Rally was a thing that I made like early in prep school. It's gonna be a 3-part basically death race in D&D through Archeon, which is like a set of geometrical shaped worlds on a plane that like sets kind of adjacent to the abyss and hell. It's where Groomish One Eye, the god of the orcs, fights his never-ending battle against Maglibute, who is the god of goblins. And I want this to be like basically they make a wager. If what was for Extra Life. Now I'm intrigued.
All Outta Bubblegum, I assume.
Well, we can do all of the beautiful thing about All Outta Bubblegum is we can do all of Bubblegum all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
It's like I'm thinking maximum 3-hour game. And we can basically, because of the generator you guys made, it can go anywhere. Somewhat unfortunately. Oblivion Rally, I'm thinking it'll be 3 parts. And I really want it to be like Orky Mad Max. But also have a little bit of the old Warhammer 40K Gorka Morka game feel to it. So what is our interest in that? Is that something people are interested in or not? Is this something you guys would want? Because I know I've got a couple players who are like, I would play that. Like, I know
it's less appealing to me but that's just because I haven't gone down the D&D route yet. You know.
But is it interesting as a concept?
Oh yeah, it's a fun concept for sure.
Because I like Chris and Zane were both kind of interested in that a while back. So last but not least, and in chat, of course, Super Spike. Oh, you're talking about All Out Bubblegum. If there's enough call for it, I will do an All Out of Bubblegum at Extra Life. Yeah, Brian, Chariots has a lot in common with Gorka Morka in a lot of ways, which is a Games Workshop board game-ish from the, I want to say Gorka Morka was in the mid 80s, and it was just, 40K orcs basically doing Mad Max against each other, making their big rigs with their big shooters. I don't know if they've ever remade Gorka Morka or not, but and then the last one is I kind of want to run Gamma World, but I want to run it with the edition that they did when 4th edition was out, because it's a version of Gamma World that is completely randomized. Like character creation, everything is on random tables. The only thing is like it's built around cards, which might make it difficult. Like you find items and the items are on cards, which I would probably have to just be able to like. It is the one with the cards. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe I can find something that's got the cards so I can pass them out electronically. Like you can get mutations and things like that are on cards. So for those that aren't really aware of what Gamma World in that edition was, is that they activated the Hydron Collider, which also activated itself across a myriad of worlds at the same time, and they all smashed into one.
Oh.
Caused a bizarre apocalypse across worlds where worlds smashed into each other. So now our world is a crazy, like post-apocalyptic, like mutant, like there's an entire race of like very militant chicken people. It's like very, it's very tongue in cheek, but it's also like super deadly. Fallout has a lot of Gamma World DNA in it because Gamma World's been around since D&D's 1st edition.
Yeah,
it was another game that TSR made, kind of in the same spine as D&D. So I always feel like Fallout has definitely got some Gamma World in it, and I was kind of like, I want to keep that because no one's really sure what caused the disaster beyond the collider. So you can go buck wild with it. I was gonna do this a few years ago for Extra Life, but it ended up hitting the cutting room floor for me. And it was gonna be the World Murder Hobo Challenge, where the players were all murder hobos trying to like survive, basically like a Running Man thing.
Okay.
I thought about maybe doing that, but I also was watching a Drawfee episode where they got weird, like they always do. They did one. They were like, "Hey, let's just do weird prompts today out of a generator," and one of the generators gave them the Princess of Ohio, and I was like, "Oh wait, hold on, that kind of hits Gamma World style." Like the players accidentally stumble into Gamma World Ohio, and there's literally a figure known as the Princess of Ohio, and because they are not citizens of Ohio, they're forced to do the Murder Hobo Challenge.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know if you're how familiar you were with it. It was a really weird arc. I've only read about it at like I only read like recaps of it, but there was an Iron Man run with what was it? I want to say it was an interdimensional evil Gerald Ford. And
that's interesting.
Like, it was an alternate universe that was kind of like more like feudal. Yeah. King Gerald is an alternate dimensional counterpart of Gerald Ford. And he's in command of he was second in command of the Kingdom of Grand Rapids. And when the king, who would have been alternate dimension Richard Nixon, was forced to abdicate the throne, he took over. And so, yeah, he just ended up going like getting supervillains to go after Iron Man and stuff. You know, kind of this you know, cat's paw sort of deal. But anyway, yeah. So it was basically, here's this alternate dimension that's more like, you know, medieval England, but it's still America, and yeah, it's interesting. So it could just be, or, you know, I guess in this case it would be, you know, depending on when you want to set it, it could be an alternate dimensional, you know, Joe Biden or something, because
The
this was
Biden,
all, this was taking place in the 70s. So
Dark Brandon.
yeah, you know, you could
No,
do it.
I love the idea that it's Gerald Ford. I'm keeping that, and that he has like car robots, like Transformer style car robots that are his army. That's what keeps the Princess of Ohio in power. And I imagine the Princess of Ohio as a very, very physically attractive, like, woman with a giant Modoc head that like just radiates psychic abilities. So she like has to use like a machine that keeps her like attractive body in like a tube, but her head is moved around on a big platformy deal. So what do we think about this? This got legs. It's dead silent.
No, I'm just absorbing it. Like, this is wild. It's wild.
So this would be like they use like a mix of like biotech eyes and mechanical floating eyes to follow you as you go through this. Kind of like there used to be a game called X-Crawl that was like a port of 4E where you lived in like a current day fantasy world, and X-Crawl was like a basically like a dungeon crawling game show that you competed on where you could die. So again, kind of like the Running Man, except for it was like you went through the ruins of like a city to go dungeon crawl, and you got points for getting things. It's got legs and it's ready to run. Would this be something you guys would want to see as like a one shot for Extra Life?
That could be interesting. More of a yeah, or maybe, you know, as like a limited series sort of deal, depending on how much story you think you've got.
To me, it is a straight up crawl.
Okay.
The story is very limited. This is
Yeah.
kind of like what is it? This Stunlock bar crawl thing that James runs.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's like that. It's like, okay, here's a very simple dungeon crawl, co-op competitive.
Sure.
And I also want, if people are going to play in it, I want them to do like tiny introductions of their characters where they're the only person on screen, like they would for like a football game when they introduced like the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And so is like from the Ohio State. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ragnar.
There for whatever reason, just the way you were talking about this, I also was imagining a mashup of oh fuck, what was it just finished too. Oh, of Where Monsters Dwell and The Running Man.
Where monsters? Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The comic.
Yeah. Where you throw a bunch of movie slasher into a yeah.
There was a comic for a while too called like Welcome to Tranquility, where it was
Yes.
like golden age characters like living in a retirement community.
Yep.
I enjoyed the concept of that a lot. I don't know if
I never picked it up, but
I had like the first year, I think. And Colin has it now, but it was like the concept was really good. And I liked like one of the villains were kind of like unruly grandchildren, basically. And one of them had wore like, I think it was had become their face was just a ever rotating screen of emojis.
oh,
Which I was like, that to me was very interesting, like on a lot of levels. It reminded me of like the TV headed guy in Saga a little bit.
yeah.
But it was well before Saga. So what do we think? Do you think this is so it sounds like you guys want All Out of Bubblegum at Extra Life as well. Would that be factual?
I think so. But I don't think like a one-off just as a fun thing sooner than that wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Oh no, it's happening. That's a done deal. That's happening. There's no way around that. That's such a low pre-work for me, pre-prep, and it's very much like I was talking to Cassandra about this. Sometimes those games feel so much like a fun challenge, as far as like it's just a ideas jam session with the loosest of rules.
Right.
So it's like, hey, you think of this cool thing. It's very improv, and I do enjoy those. Yeah, yes and type of games. Like I've been watching. They had the second episode of Sword AF was out this week, and the episode was called Fernie Joins a Cult, and definitely again had that kind of D&D but looser rules, even though they're using 5th edition, and more just all about how can we as improvers just kind of play off one another. And it's the same way when I'm watching the McElroys play Blades in the Dark currently in Steeplechase, which Justin created maybe my all-time favorite NPC now, Schlebethany. Which if you have not listened to, someone made an animated intro for Schlebethany. Actually, I did one for all the contestants of Passion's Cove, which was so Steeplechase basically is like the characters work in this giant multi-layered theme park called Steeplechase, where layers are different like worlds, and they are, because it's Blades in the Dark, they're like a gang, they're a criminal gang. So they're pulling jobs.
Yeah.
And one of the jobs they had was to go on this thing called Passion's Cove and steal the heart of the Bachelor. And one of the other contestants was Schlebethany, who I'm going to see if I can find it and just throw it in the chat real quick. This person did like animated intros for all the characters, and Schlebethany was my favorite, and might be a reoccurring character because Schlebethany is like literally so great. Also, like Griffin about has an aneurysm from laughter when Justin does all the Schlebethany stuff. So there's the link in the chat. You know what else would be extra good at Extra Life? G.I. Joe.
Someday.
That'll get there.
I will. They did some weird. They did some. They're doing. They did some stuff recently to cross over all the Rule 20 Hasbro stuff. So there's
interesting
like rules if you want to like bash together G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and My Little Pony.
So the creator is Cirrus Lair on YouTube. They did a intro for everybody from the besides the players from Passions Cove, which was Delphi Reynolds, Kip Jacobs, Ricky Esperanza, other Ricky. But best of all is Schlebethany.
Well, Schlebethany.
I have to do. I use my time to teach. To teach children how to pluck their own eyebrows as a court appointed time to teach children how to pluck their eye. I once adopted a fox just to poison it. I hate potato chips, but it's the voice that does it. Also, the person who did the art nails the art. Anyway, so I guess my other question is Oblivion Rally. Do I throw it into Extra Life? Because I think I could do it in 2 sessions in Extra Life. Rather than try to squeeze it in somewhere else.
Yeah.
Does it feel like something that would work much better in Extra Life?
That's a good question. I guess I don't feel like it has to be. It's nice to have the done in one stuff for Extra Life for sure, but I don't know if you need to.
So the first 2 years of Extra Life, all my stories interconnected. And then the last thing we did at Extra Life is I did these huge, everybody plays sessions.
Right.
I can't do that.
No,
I just don't have the capacity to do that anymore, I don't think. Although I might try to plan something like that. And there was a couple years ago where I was like, we should all get together and do something like that. And everyone was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then no one wanted to do it.
No one wanted to do it. Yeah.
They were like, you should do that. And it's like, but I kind of feel like, and this is why I want chat to really chime in, Oblivion Rally may work best as a 2-parter in Extra Life. Just running 2 Extra Life sessions back to back, and then just doing the whole kit and caboodle on a 6-hour block. If I think it's going to take that, because I might be able to. I have to go back and look at my notes. I might very well be able to, especially if I want to just totally make it a Death Wraiths 2000 type of thing. I could get 2 teams and have them playing competitively against one another while playing, in the system. One team of goblinoids and one team of orcs.
That could be interesting.
Does that sound more
That sounds cool, but also like a giant pain in the ass to try and run.
I don't think it'll be too hard because I really enjoy you've played Star Wars with me. I really enjoyed jumping back and forth because I think it keeps me a lot more focused because it's short bits. What say you, chat? I wish there was a way to do polls in StreamYard.
Yeah, that's interesting that they don't have that.
It'd be cool to be able to throw one up on the chat.
Yeah.
I think you could probably do it with Twitch, or YouTube, but I'm not doing that.
No. I'm
using StreamYard. It's easy. It's easy for a guy like me to use StreamYard. For a man like me. For a boy like me. Matt, no one's answering, so I guess I'm making this decision yours.
Oh boy.
Holy crap, we were at 155.05 with 5 watchers. Terrifying.
Boy, what would be the best way to do that?
What would be the best way to be consumed by others? Because I mean,
that feels like a lot for Extra Life, just in terms of the time demand,
Oh, James, I don't even know what that means. What's extra life? Fair, Brian.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that feels like too big of a bite for somebody to like sit down and stay invested in. To
you think?
me,
Okay.
but I
No. That's a good point. I didn't think about it.
um
Fuck you. Maybe I just do it as like a two-parter. You know what I could do? I could do a three-parter where one part is the Orky players, one part is the Goblin players, and then the final part is them in the same session.
oh geez.
But I would probably do that not as extra life. Oh, that's fair. That's fair, Beard. I mean, you always got to listen to Wesley Snipes. He never makes bad decisions.
I mean, except when it comes to taxes.
Hey, some motherfuckers always got to ice skate uphill. Super Spike's the exact same thing.
Oh, I'm sure if he can swing it, he'll be playing.
Yeah. So I guess,
All right, he's pulled his cord out. He's getting that fixed here. So.
I unplugged myself.
Woo!
So I guess consulting all of you, what would be better would it be just to run it as a one shot? Would it be to run it as a competitive three-parter? What do you guys think would be the most fun to what do you think the most fun would be, which would be the most fun version to play in, let alone the most fun version to potentially watch?
I like the idea a lot of somehow doing it competitive. I'm not sure how that'll work in practice. But
I don't think that'll be that difficult.
All right.
Because what I'll do is I'll just like have them at the beginning choose because it's an open road race basically,
Right.
they go in separate paths and have to deal with separate hazards, and then they come back to the final leg of the race on the same thing.
Okay.
So then it's, they're competing against each other as far as do you want to directly attack them or do you want to? So the last one, I become less of a DM and more of a facilitator.
Okay. I mean, that could be super fun.
And we would be using the rules from we would be
You all right, Ben?
be
It's all right, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
What was it saying?
We were just trying to figure out how you wanted to run this, but it's okay, man.
What do we? But what thing? What thing?
Oh, the Oblivion Rally stuff. But no, that's
What was I? What was I saying? Well, like what was my last words that made sense?
I will have to have the chat see if they recall. It kind of got yeah.
Um. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, we can just
no! I mean,
oh nice. Is that you got both of them now or
I don't have the white one. I just have this one.
okay.
But look, and he got different hands, so he doesn't have to be on all fours. He can be on two.
Oh, he can stand up.
Yeah, he got claw hands too, but I don't know where. Oh, they're in my pocket. He got regular claw hands.
Nice. Yeah, did you see the I think they only showed the one new NECA one at
The blue bearded dwarf.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. I unfortunately pre-ordered the other new ones.
Oh
Rules, Oblivion Rally rules.
yeah, you're gonna
I
use
think I know what I was trying to figure out. Give me a second. Sorry,
yeah.
really sorry.
No, take the time you need, man.
Um, Adventures. Um,
No, it's all good. We'll we've been going for 2 hours too. We can
no, I just want to get this. Oh, so small.
I'll be right back.
Oh, hey, hey, man, what are you doing? I'm okay. I'm okay. I thank you guys, but I'm good. That happens sometimes. Beard here. I see you, but I can't hear you, Beard.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I was just saying I was in the chat and I was watching you on video while I was doing some work and just figured I'd pop on. I didn't know if you're feeling okay or needed a hand, so I figured having another hand on the ones and twos would be okay if you wanted to break for this week or if you wanted to keep going. So
Um, I think I'm like I said, I'm almost done. I
okay.
just wanted to. Why is this? Um, hello.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello.
What? I don't know. What? Almost. Yeah. I have one in. So yeah, I wanted to use this stuff from. Um, I'm sorry. I'm completely like a
No, it's
little
okay, man. Don't apologize.
overwhelmed. And
Shit hits you. It's fine. It happens.
now I don't know what I was doing. All right. Well, I'm gonna say bye. Me and Albert. Bye. Oh, his foot came off. Oh
Oh,
no.
no. Like, right.
Well, here now they came up. I'll put on his claw hands.
Oh,
They just snap out. Also, go watch Slebethany because it's kind of the best. I'm a tourist, but not that kind of tourist. Here's the big boy, like stand up, big boy. And Cassandra pointed out, he's super heavy. Like he is.
yeah,
He's,
that looks beefy. That looks like a beefy.
he is a beefcake. Like I'll put him next to a He-Man. Like,
Whoa.
Yeah,
Those
those
beefcake.
things are nuts.
so anyway, thank you for coming, watching.
Yeah, no, this has been great. I
Enjoy.
feel like we made some progress. We'll pick up what we need to pick up next.
If you have ideas for the extra life, let us know. Bye, nerds. Beard, did I mute you? I'm sorry.
Nope.
Oh no,
I'm not muted.
he's just been.
I'm good. I'm just chilling. Just gonna throw the jams on so I could rock out.
With your clock out?
Rock out? You know me.
All right, bye. Sorry.